Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. I'm here to talk about Mobland Season 1, Episode 8. Let's get straight into it because there's so much stuff. I've had to take some notes down, so forgive me if I'm referring to my notes all the time, but I don't want to forget anything. At the beginning of this episode, Serapina's back with the Harrigans. She's safe and sound. Maeve is pissed because the wrong Harrigan got killed. She wanted her son to survive and not this bitch, as far as she's concerned, to survive. And you can see that she's having to hold it in when it comes to Serapina putting on a front in front of the rest of the family, but she secretly wants this person out of the picture. And there are moments where she, lets the mask slip in front of other members of her family. But the good thing is the other members of her family know what sort of person she is in the first place. She's a manipulator. She's a fucking horrible person. She's a shit stirrer. And I'm really happy that her family knows this about her because they are her family members. They are aware of what sort of person she truly is. And that's great because she's not somebody who's always pulled the wool over her family members' eyes. They are very much aware that she fucking causes a lot of shit. And I'm very happy that was kind of revealed during the course of this episode. Anyways, let's get to some of my notes. So at the end of this episode, let's just start with that. Richie Stevenson kills those cops, and then he makes a pact with Toby Jones's character, whose name currently escapes me, so I'm going to be calling him Toby Jones. Really good to see Toby Jones in this show as well. Basically, in speaking to those cops, he felt he was going to be owned by those cops. He doesn't want to be owned by anybody, which is why he killed those cops. If he did get owned by those cops, that would make him a grass. And if you're going to be in this underground world, you can't be a grass. But when he spoke to Toby at the end of this episode, Toby says, yes, you own us, we don't own you. Which basically means that he, Richie Stevenson, has the power of the British Police Department in his fucking pocket. A great move. Didn't see the killing of the cops coming, because why would he kill two coppers who have just come to visit him? They weren't being shady, but no, cold-blooded, he fucking killed them. That was amazing. And then we understand why at the end, because he's now going to be running the cops. They're not going to be running him. Great stuff. So, regarding Harry D'Souza, he now owes Kat 2 favors because he's setting up a meeting with the guy who ended up killing Brendan Harrigan. He's doing this because the guy who ended up killing Brendan Harrigan also works for Kat, or is under Kat's influence. But by not killing Serapina, the guy who ended up killing Brendan Harrigan is now going against Richie Stevenson, so he's kind of made an enemy out of him. And now Conrad, even though he's lost his son, he's got over that pretty quickly, and he's now using his son's death as an opportunity to broker some deal for fentanyl, and he's going to be doing it with the guy who actually killed his fucking son. And he's going to have Kat McAllister, the person Harry owes a favor to help broker this deal, which now means that Harry owes another favor to the McAllisters. And Conrad is very much aware of all of this, and it's going to be interesting to see where Harry stands at the end of all of this, because Harry's been very loyal to the Harrigans, so loyal that he put himself in a predicament by saving Serapina's life by asking Kat for a favor, which now means that he owes her one, and now he owes her a second one. And Conrad will happily kill Harry if it means him not having any problems with Harry, but Harry at the same time did save his child's life. So yeah, it's a real fucking predicament. And talking of predicaments, let's go on to Eddie Harrigan, because Eddie Harrigan is fucking crazy. And so much so, when Harry finds out that his own daughter is fucking Eddie, initially you would think to yourself, okay, Harry's going to bring down the law on Eddie. But he doesn't. He talks like a cool, calm, collective guy. But at the very end, he kind of tells Eddie, look, when you reach the top, and you reach the very, very top, I'll be there right beside you, and I'm going to push you off. Boom. Eddie's a fucking nutcase. We find, and I kind of understand why, but he probably gets it from his father. And his father's not actually, in my personal opinion, Kevin, but I think his father is Conrad. You see, later on in this episode, Maeve is doing her shit stirring routine regarding Serapina and starts talking to Kevin, her son, about it, and says that when you take over, you and your brother will be running. You and your brother will be running the family. And Kevin says, "Well, it's only going to be me now because my brother's dead." And then Maeve says, no, not him, but your other brother. And your other brother, in my opinion, is actually Eddie Harrigan. Eddie's not Kevin's son, but he's actually Kevin's brother. I think Conrad and Bella, which is Kevin's wife, had an affair because you saw some moments between them two. And I think Conrad has definitely fucked Bella because, like I said, those moments of some of the stuff they've talked about kind of insinuated that they did have some sort of fling. And Conrad was the result of their fling. And actually Conrad is not Conrad's the result of the fling. Eddie is the result of that fling. And Eddie is not Conrad's he's not the grandson of Conrad, but he's actually the son of Conrad. That is fucked, and I do believe that's the case, which is why Kevin was so pissed off. But he called his mum a fucking bitch, right to her face. And that there's some serious buttons that need to be pressed if you're going to be saying something like that. So yeah. Regarding Jan, which is Harry's wife, Conrad wants to have a meeting with Jan's friend, the police officer, and Jan doesn't know that this person's a police officer, but Conrad is kind of suspect of this person and wants them to come over for dinner. That person will be coming over for dinner tomorrow, which will probably be next week's episode, so we'll see how that fucking pans out. I look forward to that. What else do we have here in my notes? Oh yes, Harry goes to meet a guy called Freddy. Freddy is the gangster who works for the Stevensons, and Harry's got something on Freddy because obviously he's got pictures of Freddy fucking Harry's wife. So now Freddy works. I'm getting all these fucking names mixed up. Harry's got pictures of Freddy fucking Richie's wife. Yeah, and now in a way Freddy kind of works for Harry to a degree. He's the inside man within the Stevenson family. And Freddy wants to get out of this business. He wants out, so to speak. Harry's not letting him really have that. And so when Freddy gives him some information regarding there being a grasp within the Harrigan family who's working with the Stevensons, next thing we know, before that name was revealed, or it was revealed off screen, we see Freddy getting thrown off a building and lands on a car on the ground, so he's dead. That was an amazing scene. And I think I know who the grass is. It's obviously Maeve. Maeve again. Maeve is the shit stirrer. Maeve was the one who sold her own family out to the Stevensons, so Richie Stevenson could kill Sarah Pina. That's the sort of person that she is. And now Harry knows this. He obviously had to shut Freddy up because he doesn't want word spreading more than it is. And now we'll see what comes from that. Because I said last week that why the hell didn't Richie Stevenson give up the ghost and say that Maeve was the one who told me to go after your children to Conrad? But now I probably know why, because she's working with Richie and Maeve are kind of working with each other, which is pretty fucked in my opinion. And regarding Kevin again, let's get back to him. He goes to the old people's home to find the guy who raped him, the prison officer. And I thought the prison officer was actually in the old people's home, but no, it's his wife. And so Kevin gets the sort of signing in book to have a quick look at when this prison officer goes to visit his wife, figures out the dates. He comes pretty much every Friday. So Kevin's going to be waiting for him next Friday, which will probably be next week as well. So yeah, craziness. So much in this episode. I fucking love it. All those little nuances, all those little things. So yeah, so my predictions are that Freddy, the guy who got thrown off the building, the information he gave regarding the grass or the rat within the Harrigans is Maeve, and the other brother is Eddie Harrigan. Wow, that's my predictions. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with those particular things? And what sort of favors do you think Harry will end up owing Kat? I'm not so sure, to tell you the truth. It's complicated. It really is. I mean, if Kat is asking Maeve to go against the Harrigans, that would be a very bizarre favor to ask, because the favor, what he did was for the Harrigans. He can't go against them, regardless of him owing favors to Cat. So Cat favors have to be kind of particular, and we'll see how that pans out. Harry always, being in the industry that he is, will always have to look over his shoulders, but never against the Harrigans. Now he does, because obviously he's kind of put the heebie-jeebies on Eddie Harrigan, and Conrad Harrigan's obviously looking at him as well in a weird way. I can understand why Kevin Harrigan almost looks at Harry in a weird way, because he knows his wife has fucking cheated on him, and probably knows that his wife cheated on him with his fucking dad, and probably even knows, and I think he does know, that his son Eddie isn't even his. It's his fucking dad. He's his fucking brother. That's who Eddie is. Oh my god. This is fucking crazy. What a bizarre, fucked up, incestual family the Harrigans are. They are really fucked. And I love it. Let me know what you think. I'm going to give this episode a fucking 10, baby. This gets a 10. This is the most 10-ish 10 episode of the lot. The twists and turns and craziness galore that came out of this episode. I fucking love it. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye-bye.